Hey my friend. Now, I'm not sure exactly when this video will be uploaded, but June 21st of 2023 marks 1 year of me on this channel of Lions Made Media. So I figured it's actually a good time to both review how this year has gone and what I've learned from it, as well as also sharing a bit about what I at least plan to do going forward. Because plans can change and probably should change a lot of times, and they don't always turn out the way we expect them to, but it's still good to kind of have at least a guideline in line. And I will admit that this has actually been a bit of a slow beginning, but I'm not giving up, because I know that one thing is that I've at least improved on camera, even if it's only slight, overall this time, which is a valuable skill for whatever I want to do in the future, as well as continuing to do this, at least in today's world, because so much of it is basically focused on creating stuff or talking to people and so forth, and getting any kind of practice with that can be really valuable. I've also talked a bit about what I actually set out to do with this project in bringing back my creative side to the forefront. And that has just been because I always felt like there was some perfect timing or perfect setup needed to really dive in on it after kind of my first book kind of ended up somewhat stalling since I didn't really have an audience built. But even recently, I realized that my perspective on things has changed so much that I'm thinking about how I would want my own projects to be, or rather than having to thinking about, oh, what if I could have this franchise or that franchise or be a part of that one, but actually thinking of stuff that is what I would do, which is just kind of exciting for me. Well, more on that later with what's to come. I've also learned some of the processes that will need to be adjusted or reworked and have been as I continue to make these videos. Part of that is why I've currently changed setups, as this has been slightly easier to set up, as well as I don't really have to worry about the weather as much and coming in after a recording session and being chilled as I used to in some of those videos. In addition, I've added in these whiteboards in some of them to hopefully give better examples and to make them more interesting to watch than me just talking into the camera. Which was also something I attempted to do a bit with some live streams, I think in December, that I did, but I realized that streaming is a bit beyond me right now. Because I was always really tired after those, possibly because I was in the state of having to be on, and also trying to play games decently at that time, which is more draining than it sounds or seems like it would be, at least to me. And those are basically some of the lessons I've learned. Now, as to what my plans for the future are, the major one is actually focusing on writing down the ideas for my projects that I have, because it seems that it is that kind of journey from brain to paper or computer that is where I currently struggle. And in addition, that will also allow me to keep you updated on how that's going and probably remain accountable in that, and also give you an idea of when there will possibly be a release down the line. In addition, I want to keep putting out these videos to continue bringing you value at a consistent rate. So part of that will be figuring out how to optimize my workflow, both in content creation and my day job. Another side of that is further figuring out this channel's niche, and if I actually do need to niche down a bit more, since while the primary focus is on storytelling, there are a few other topics that sneak in from time to time, as you likely already know if you watched any of these channels' previous videos. Which is actually the perfect opportunity to open up the floor, so if I can use that metaphor, and hear from you. Since you've made it this far into the video, I'm going to assume that you at least have a bit of interest in this channel. So what kind of content would you like to see? Are there any questions you want answered about storytelling? Or one of the personal development subjects you talked about? Or anything else for that matter? Let me know down in the comments so I can have a better idea of how I can serve you. Anyway, I'm Jonah. You've been watching Lions Made Media, where we celebrate stories and lessons we learn from them. Talk to you later, and have a great rest of your day.